Good morning, it's Debbie with the Pickin Coop Farmstead, and I'm out here. I have a bunch of cooler weather crops like chamomile, mustard, dill, calendula. My goal today is to get those things planted. Some of them I'm going to put in my herb bed. Others I'm just going to plant them out. Like mustard, I'm putting them in my cruciferous bed right over here. So come along and let's do some gardening. Okay, first thing I need to do is clean this out. I'm being lazy this year. I've had a lot of stuff going on. So I want to clean out this area and then just kind of break it up a little with my little trowel, and then we can start planting. All right, I have got two types of mustard. I've got this beautiful giant red mustard. It's supposed to get nice and red and taste like wasabi. I'm super excited about that. So I'm going to go ahead and plant that. And then I've also got just the regular mustard right here that I planted last year. It's very prolific. It's delicious in salads. Both of these things are. So we are going to go ahead and dig holes for this, fill them up full of water, and do some planting. Here we go. All right, here we go. So I think I'm going to plant the regular mustard here. Had to start my video again. It decided to switch around to the other direction. But as I was saying, I'm planting my dill. I've got 4 holes here, and a couple of these pots have a couple plants in them, but I am going to go ahead and put them together. Always remember, water in your hole. If you can't do that, then at least soak your plants really well before you plant them. Eliminates shock. And right over here are my peas. I'm going to go in the house and get my clips. Uh-oh, I see a salvo, roly-poly, whatever you guys call them. I'm going to have to slice up. I'm going to try Jessica's method. I don't know if you can see it from there. It's right there. They like to eat seedlings. So we are going to have to get clips and potato slices. There's probably 2 or 3 dill plants in here. There we go. I don't know that they eat dill, but I certainly don't want to find out. Okay, we got 1 more hole. I'll water this one again since it took me so long to get back to it. I have 1 or 2 more dill plants, but I do want to plant them over in my herb bed. I think between the cow manure with straw and the pine straw, this bed is starting to look really nice, the soil. I've seen a lot of worms. I only saw 1 sow bug so far, but earlier when I came out a week or so ago, I saw a whole bunch of them. Okay, got those done. Now I'm going to come down this, I don't know if you can even see me, this direction, and I think I've got, what am I going to put over there? I thought of something else. I'm not sure. Okay, so these are done. I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay, so over here I remembered what I wanted to plant, and this is golden chard. Now, I've never grown this before, so I'm hoping it's doing really well in the pot here. So we'll see how many plants we ended up with. There's one. Peel up the bigger ones. Two. Let's see, what do we got here? Ooh, there's three. And these guys are really entwined, so I'm gonna put the three together. And if we have to, we can pinch off the weakest link, basically. So, I'm kind of excited about it. I've never grown it. It's really good for you, and I can't wait to eat it, taste it, see what it tastes like. There we go. Swiss chard, boom, in the garden bed. So this garden bed is complete. Moving on to the next task. All right, this right here is where I grew my carrots last year, or tried to, the majority of them. So I'm going to try all of my beautiful, beautiful chamomile. We're just going to plant 4 of them right here. I saved one, like I did my dill, for the herb bed. I'll just stick this little guy right in there. And it's Stitchy. I don't know what he's doing over there. He comes out here and he cries. He finds things. I don't know if he... Kitty, 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 kitty! Meow, meow! If he thinks he's lost, I don't know what's going on with him. Okay, so this has a few plants in it, but it's thriving really well. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in here. And it'll have a lot more room, and I'll be much happier. You're all right, Stitchy. Same thing here. The dirt's still pretty moist. We had quite a bit of rain the last couple days. Look at all the worms. I'm very pleased. There were like no worms in these beds. Actually, we aren't going to need to mark every single one of these. And this way, I'll have plenty of chamomile this year to save. I saved it last year, but I only had one plant. But boy, you get a lot from one single plant, which is pretty impressive. It's just you got to come out every day and harvest these. Stitchy, what are you doing over there? Sounds like he's lost his best friend. Of course, Lilo did not come out. Maybe he's looking for Lilo. She usually is the first one out the door. I don't know what the deal is with her today. She's like, I don't want to go, and you can't make me. Again, I put the steer manure on this bed, between the steer manure and the pine straw. Everything is looking fabulous. All right, one more little chamomile. I probably don't even need to water these in because the dirt is very, very wet. A little overkill. But these little seedlings are used to being very wet. Okay, that takes care of the chamomile. Okay, next I have yarrow. I'm planting that on the other side of my dill. And I'm not really sure, I can't remember how big these get, but we're going to plant them and see what happens. These are very, very medicinal. I believe they're good at stopping bleeding. That's like the only thing I can think of right off the top of my head. And my soil is pretty wet, so I'm thinking I'm not really going to water it in, these holes. I mean, it's wet all the way down. These poor little guys have been needing to get out of here for quite a while. They're like, help me, Mr. Wizard. Alright, here we go. Okay, one more. I think every year the soil is just going to get better and better. Alright, I'm just going to put one name tag in there. These are kind of distinct on their ID. They look like little ferns. On to the next one. Okay, next I have spinach, and I mean, boy, does it need to get out of the pot. Usually I try to direct sow my spinach, but this year I did it in these little pots and it came up like crazy. For whatever reason, the bugs, the birds, the rabbits, what have you, have gotten into and ate all my spinach. So I don't know how many plants I have in here. We're going to find out. There's several, that's for sure. And what I've done is just I'm making little holes, put them down in there. Oh, there's a pincher bug. You don't want that in there. Okay, we're going to put this one in there. I need to just get on my knees. I was trying not to get dirty, but that's kind of hard to do when you're gardening. Don't know quite how far apart I should plant these. There we go. That in there. Had to spray some more bug spray. Man, they're terrible this morning. Mosquitoes. Some of these littler ones, I don't know how they're going to fare, but we're going to give it a PJ whirl. I'm going to try using this of spinach. Okay, so next I'm going to plant some calendula. I still have more to put in my herb bed. And some of these I have actually harvested blooms off of already, if you can believe that. Right there. These poor guys. I had to read up on what were cool weather crops. And calendula I knew just because of how long my lone calendula lasted last year. So therefore I'm like, okay. And I already knew that all the cruciferous, the like the broccolis and cabbages and cauliflowers and those types of things are cool weather. And these guys, so they could have, that was the first thing I planted. Dill is cool weather. I think cilantro is too. Yarrow, I looked it up. I mean, some of this stuff, it's crazy how much cold it can withstand. Some things were down to like, I don't know, like in the 20s. I was shocked. Because we still have some 30s temperatures coming, and I did not. I can't plan out, obviously, tomatoes, especially peppers, cucumbers, squash, those kinds of things. Okay, so here we have our calendula. Now I have a few herbs that I'm saving for my herb bed, and then that'll conclude my planting. So it's supposed to rain on Saturday. Today is only Tuesday, so I'll water everything in really well that I planted today. Whew, here we go. I'm starting to get hot already. So yeah, I got all this stuff done. I need to clean out my herb bed over there and start putting some of these other things in there. Pull some more things for the chickens. I did want to show you overall what we did today. So Hang on there. It's hard to do anything with these gloves on. Sorry for the close-up. All right, there's the peas. They're growing like crazy. I'm gonna have to get some twine so I can make them go up on the fence there. I still have a lot of pine straw left. After these calendulas get established, the beets get more established, or spinach. The beets are right here. Those are what I planted last time. Here's our cruciferous bed. Down at the end there is our mustard. Then we planted over here. Our celery is doing quite well. I kind of nestled around it with the pine straw. Our yarrow that we just planted. Dill. And then I need my clips for my peas so they can go up this trellis right here. Then over here, we have our beautiful good gravy. What the heck is this? Chamomile. So that's looking really well. And then this is looking like a jungle over here. That's a partial herb bed. Then over here is my oregano. Look at that. I need to pick some of that. This mallow, I hate to do it, but it needs to come out of there. I did deadhead my parsley the other day because it was going to seed. So that's kind of crazy. And strawberries, look at the strawberries. They're getting ginormous in here. So that needs a little TLC. So we've got all kinds of room to grow things. I'm saving the trellises for all the beans, squash. These are all my rows of trellises. Beans, squash, tomatoes. There's that big V trellis. I'm going to need to get another trellis. But right now, I'm just kind of concentrating on what I have and what I can put outside. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. It's a beautiful day here. I've got a slight breeze going on. I'm going to go ahead and water in everything that I planted so it doesn't go into too much shock. And then that's it. So I hope the sun is shining where you are. I hope you stay happy, healthy, and safe. Thank you so much, as always, for following, watching, subscribing, and sharing and commenting. God bless you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.